Hello, Divine Sunshiners.
Hello, Divine Sunshiners. I pulled some cards today about the energies that I am feeling.
Well, we are. The Divine Masculine is having growing pains about really truly having to grow up spiritually and mature. These are the tests that you've already had before. These are the tests that you kind of maybe failed before. These are the tests that saying, hey, this is the moment you've been prepared for. Now let me see how you're going to be able to handle it now. Clear. YouTube channel. All right, see you in a few. Benefits. So the story is still from your ancestors. It's still stored in your body. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine. I am your host for Divinely Speaking Unplugged. This is my new YouTube channel. Those of you are the subscribers that know me from Divine Unisouls, I thank you for discovering and finding me here. This is more of a channel in which you will get a variety of all things, channeled messages, or also what is being divinely told that I need to speak upon. Today's topic is childhood wounds. Childhood wounds have been popping up everywhere I look and go. I see childhood wounds. There's a battle that's going on as far as you trying to make forward movement. You hear, and I use my furry kids also as channel messages. So when I hear them growl or do something like that, that means that's something of a competition or a conflict going with energy. So when they get loud, you know that. Also, if things chime, that lets me know that also that's something that's being divine as well. And make sure I turn up my volume. So we say right now my watch here, or my clock here, it says 3:33 is the time as well. So just so we can get a really understanding of what's going on. So childhood wounds, those of you all that might not be familiarized, on my Divine Unisouls channel, I have a whole playlist about inner childhood wounds and how they're playing a part as far as stopping us from being able to have that forward movement in anything, rather it's in love, abundance, finances. You'll be surprised how those things that have to do with childhood wounds run a ticker tape underneath everything that we do in life, and it stops us. We don't even know it, unbeknownst. Like I was talking to Mom and we were having a conversation, and she always said, my childhood was fine. You know, I didn't have any kind of issues or anything like that. And so as I was stepping her and walking her through it, I say, you know what, as a person who's an outsider, I can see where things might have been dropped. Maybe might have been the relationship that she's seen that her mother had went through with guys and from men, and how some of those things it might not have turned wrong, and how maybe they had made an underlying story happen for her that she did not know. She's like, oh my God, you know, right, that could have been. I did see some things that a lot of times that she had relationships, things didn't go the way it was. And then some things as a child, I said, well, when I grow up older, I'm not going to allow this X, Y, and Z to happen. These are things like little things that might not you have done, but maybe even seeing, and it started a thing of saying this contractual agreement that you made with yourself that you won't go through the same stuff. Some of the same other stuff is like you always seeing your parents struggling. I look at my father growing up in a home where money was an issue, that the mom was the breadwinner and she was going out there and making it for everybody else, and she instilled in them very hard work like Rihanna, that. And so as he got up older, things of that tapering towards the end of his life. You've seen that even when I went over there to the house to clean out my childhood home, how he had looked like he had a regular office max, like if you was an office supply, and he didn't even have things of overbuying, triple buying things just to make sure that he had a surplus, that it was never going without because of what this thing had been instilled in him as a child. doing that. And so how those little things, even with me, and I go and tell they said, well, you told ours, what about yours? Seeing also how my mom and dad going back and forth with that, how they instill with me, maybe about me not being such a great thing about marriage, or having somebody that really seeing somebody pour their heart and soul into, but not have the love return back to them in the same manner that they had given. How that makes me say, oh, maybe I don't want to pour myself all the way totally into somebody like that, because that might happen to me. Those things as a child, those things they get, and those are just kind of some major things, and there's some other really scripted. So they go to conflict that goes around is feeling that strife as far as going and having that forward movement in life as well, to be able to have that and to be able to achieve. So I want to look at the cards and see about as far as what is source advice about what are we supposed to be doing, because it has came up. I looked at Demi Moore's interview that she had did a while back that was talking about her new book that she was having out, and then she's talking about how abandonment and rejection had came up in all of her relationships that caused her to choose Bruce Willis and caused her to choose Ashton, and some of the things that was going on, it was popping up in that abandonment thing. Looking at it was somebody else that was talking about childhood, or my minister was even talking about that, and the thing is saying about how you'd be surprised how those things cause a conflict as you're hearing them in the background. They're stopping them to be able to actually achieve what you want in life too as well. Hey as well. And so that would cause hey, did you hear me? That would also cause a strife as well with that. So those are some things as far as you have those things that you don't know what's going on. Excuse me, I'll see if I could cut that out. I probably will. Okay, so now this is what causes an issue. Yes, this, you see this little cutie Rudy say hi people. So yeah, so that's one of the issues that one might even find themselves. Let me take this pillow and put this here so you have you something to go on. Okay. All right then. There we go. So now we got us a co-host, and the other sister is sitting there getting jelly because she's doing that. Okay. All right then. So now go on. So my name is Ivory. My sister's name is Ebony. So okay. So that means while she's up here, we're gonna make this kind of brief. Okay, all right then. So what is the energies that we're dealing with? And I think this came out before, even on the last one when I did the Divine Unisouls thing, which is here all tied up. So in order for us to have this change that we want to occur and to happen, these childhood wounds that we have is tying, is binding us up without us knowing. And in some ways it's having us sitting like we're sitting pretty about it. It's like we don't have an issue really actually about us being tied up about it, and really us not unbeknownst not knowing that, hey, we need to be able to move on to need to release this, because it's not all right. Maybe in some ways it has made us feel as if we are, I'm thinking about her bark is much stronger than her bite, which is maybe has empowered her and created her to, has caused for us to really be more bolder when we're not, or much greater than what we are. But it's really they show me the card in my mind where it is that where you're playing yourself much bigger. You're much bigger than where you are, but you're much smaller in the process. That card that is showing me is the tribe card, where it's got the giraffe there. Excuse me, she keeps on because I spilled some maple syrup and didn't know it. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that is what you have to keep in mind there as well. Let's look and see about what is some directives as far as spirit is saying. It's about us dealing with these childhood wounds that's coming up. Stop backing up because you're going to find yourself falling off, cutie. Okay. All right. So what is it? I see. Right here, these two. Okay. So according to source, they're saying because of these childhood wounds that we had, that we're actually allowing for our sorrows. That's the first thing that came to me. Our sorrows and our negative thinking, our dark thinking, to drive us, to take the wheels, to take the driver's seat. Okay. And so that means that we've got to, especially in our emotions, because this is a ship, and water is emotions, symbolizes emotions too as well. And this is from the Light Seers Tarot deck, Six of Swords. This is causing a lot of conflict, a conflict as far as in our thinking, in our forward movement too as well, because we're letting it drive us instead of us being the captain of our own ship or the captain of our own emotions. So this is it. This is a lot of even feminine, divine feminine energies here. That means within our spirit is doing a lot of things that is not as free as we would like to. There's a lot of confinement. There's a lot of thinking we're all right, but we're not really all right. I'm picking up a lot of other things being in the driver's seat than us being the ones that's really driving the direction that we want to. It's the childhood wounds, it's the childhood patterns, it's the childhood, what we believe, our beliefs, our ideologies is driving the ship where it needs to go. So we need to change that according to source. We need to change the source as far as how we are allowing for that to happen and occur. Okay. Oh, this is not in here. Oh, I'm so glad I put this but this in this is interesting. It's got issues here as well. So for the divine feminine issues, nothing just happens just. I realize that everyone has their own issues to heal in this life. I cannot do the work for anyone else but myself, which is true. A lot of times I'm picking up, and I probably is the affirmation that the divine feminine energies that we're talking about in these emotions, especially in our spirit, we have to understand it's us being empaths, that a lot of times we want to be able, and that's interesting. It's got the Lovers here next at the bottom of the deck. Here, where is that coming together of the both our outer world, the divine masculine energies as well, so as the divine feminine energies within us, trying to marry both of those things and truly be a lover to everybody. That a lot of times as us in empaths, we find ourselves doing these things where we're overextending ourselves, we're over being there for everybody else. He said yep. And so this causes a problem for us as far as us on this journey, especially with this childhood. We're talking about the issues. We have to understand that whatever the things that our mothers and our fathers had did at that time, that's what they knew best, because that's how they knew how to deal. Just like my dad's mother telling him, you got to work. You got to go out there. You got to provide, no other in between things about, hey, you know what? You also got to learn how to be a father. You got to learn how to be very with ease with yourself, how to do the other things, the spiritual things, the things that make a totality of a person, and going by the 3D aspect of you got to be a man's man. And then you're missing the whole other things about what really makes up a man. It's okay to cry. He's doing those periods that you couldn't cry. That wasn't tolerated or looked upon. That was a sign of weakness. Okay, so again, these old things coming here and understanding, okay, that's her issue. Some things about what your parents have been through and how they inflict on you as far as that. I know when I was growing up, and I've said that many times on my channel, how it was for my mom to say, okay, watch your voice, because I've always been a person who has been stating the truth with almost like a sword. And, a lot of times I say, well, when you grow up, people ain't going to like you because you so cutthroat with the da-da-da. And, and after growing up now and seeing that issue, and sometimes and looking at her, she was saying that when she was growing up, her thing was, you be seen but not heard as a child. Hear those issues being passed on to me as far as that, seeing that, okay, those are your issues. That's what you grew up. Those are not my issues. Looking and seeing about some things about how maybe financially your parents growing up in the family dynamics and how what things they believe systems. Again, those issues are not my issues. Even going on with health issues, those things and taking those on. So we have to kind of really truly understand that even the people that we call family, people around us, we're so empathic that we want to take on other people's. I was watching Jennifer and Kathy's the thing live that they have on Facebook from Sister Saint Germain Starseed sisters. I know I didn't chop it up, but anyway. And so how again, how they saying we take on other people, just going outside to the groceries, how we take on just by standing by somebody, we take on their energies because we're so empathic, and how you got to shield yourself. We have to also know that too. In the world, we feel like we are family. We have to find a way that we have to cut those things off too as well. So that's something else. They said about also about King of Pentacles as well, understanding about how we are in the world. Really truly get a good handle. When I see this lets me know to really truly get a good handle on how we have our being in the world. Become more relaxed with it. It's okay to be a lone wolf, to be unique. To be an understand that you are a leader, and it might be just a leader of one, not a leader of a pack. Or if it is time that you have to step up to the plate and be leader, you are able to do that. A lot of times because of childhood wounding, maybe a lot of times people told you can't do this because you too short, or you black, or you a woman, or you're too heavy set, or plus size, or whatever the reasons why they have told you. That's interesting. I had the man that serviced my security system, and he kept on referring to himself as I'm short and I'm fat. My dad was 5 feet and he couldn't go to the war, be in World War II, and they say the reason why he couldn't do it is because he was too short. And he said it wasn't because of that. He said it's really because he couldn't fit the uniforms because of his size. So these are things that, again, that what has life have told you in the world that you can't be able to do that. And maybe these things have been recorded because of your childhood wounds, and this is causing you to believe that you can't be that. When I look at this card here, this lets me know he's very relaxed. That means we got to move in our being, our physical being very physical where we are. He has also a white beard, white hair, which represents to me wisdom. You're wisdom, you're wise. You know about what's happening, and I see him in the library, which means you have enough knowledge and enough experience from where you are to truly have an understanding of where you have a place in the world and how you are needed in the world. Don't go by what society, I'm hearing them saying, or what your parents or anybody else in your family has told you, because some of us have been, and I remember that a long time ago, they had said they had been birthed into families of let's say lower consciousness. I won't even use the other words. And so with you being the only light there, of course they're going to try to find ways to dim your shine down, because again, some of them say we have been born into those type of families because it helps us to be able to shine our light much brighter. We know the indifference. We know to be able to strengthen our own discernment by being in that type of situation. So this is something that we have to remember, that our environment is not for us to be a product of our environment in the negative, which means to reproduce it, but be a product of our environment to be able to level up into sin and to go into the next level. Okay, so that's something that we have to remember about that. So then we can become the true lovers of not only ourselves, but even for our partner that's at the back of the deck. And then I'm seeing it's about strength too as well. Okay, so those are the things I have to call her back as well for that one. All right, as we look into the next things, I want to know, as far as love, when we're talking about that, as far as our childhood, what is it that it is that's happening for us in that one, how that is affecting, and what they're talking about in love. Got two cards here. Really, truly, to me, how it's affecting us is really understanding, to really see that this person is your soulmate, or really is your divine lover, or really having the connection to those things that you really feel, or see activity that really feel as if those are really things that you connect and resonates in your soul. That was you, Pumpkin Pie? Yeah? Okay. that resonates in your soul as well. So understanding when those things resonate in your soul and you're like, it's a hell yes, this is what I want to actually do. This is blocking you to be able to actually recognize that. She's starting to growl, which means there's a little conflict there that started because you are, this childhood wounding or these childhood issues is conflicting you to be able to truly see what is truly actually divine. Okay, then we have to understand that about this passion. It affects our passion when it comes to love. It affects us because we are not able to allow our heart and soul to sing with joy when we see this, because some of us, like I said, if you go by me, again, about how I say about my parents and them being arguing and those things that was going on through their relationship. Of course, when somebody's coming towards me, it's like, I don't know about if I want to go into this, because, it reminds me of my mom and dad, and my mom giving her heart and soul into dad, but he's not returning it because he's looking at other things, but not knowing that, okay, if he's doing that, he has some things that he needs to work out, and he doesn't really understand his own value, and that's why he's doing that. It really has nothing to do with her. Like I said, a lot of times don't take it personal when your divine counterparts. It has to do with what's going on with that person at that time. That's what it is. It's about, again, the passion. I'll edit that down too. It's about the passion and allowing your heart and soul to sing, and it's not allowing it to because of the childhood things that has happened and occurred. Okay, what is the life changes that needs to happen when we're talking about these childhood wounds as well? You're gonna be up here for a while, pumpkin, so just hang and be my sidekick. Thank you. Okay. You see a card you like? She said no. Keep the faith. Right. Because of the childhood wounding that we have, and that makes sense. That a lot of times it's hard for us to keep the faith because we go back to the devil we know. Some of us are very comfortable, and I see that card that has us wrapped up, is very comfortable about in the comfort zone. To me, when I look at wrapped up, this is my comfort zone, but your comfort zone is tying you. It's not able to have mobility. It's not able to have movement. And this, again, is stopping you because, again, like someone, I think Benita talked to me and told me, you can't get, when they get ready to send you, something about it, your mind keeps you from stopping you from being able to go to that next level. And so in stopping you to go on that next level, that's the same thing like keeping the faith. Some things might even occur. You might even get some breakthroughs. You might even get some miracles. You might even get some blessings. But because of what has happened to you in your childhood, it stops, it stagnates, they say, you from being able to keep the faith, to be able to go or get the downloads and really move and act on whatever spirit is telling you to do. So you might find yourself being a little kind of schizophrenic as well in the process, because, again, or bipolar in some ways. I'm not anybody that has mental issues as well, but my thing is like, I'm gonna do it, and then next minute, nah, I ain't gonna do it, and then you back into depression, or these highs. Yeah, I got this idea and this idea about what I'm gonna do for mission, and before you know it, you didn't talk yourself into that. You got about 50 million different daggone projects in the spin, and you haven't enacted on any of them because, again, it's to keep the faith. To me, the faith is acting without being able to see it, to be able to believe it, that know it, I will achieve it. It is going to be here. But if you're getting the downloads and you're not being able to receive it and believe in whatever source is given to you, then that's kind of like taking it and just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's it. The next thing is also understanding that this is helping you through your faith, is helping you to be able to transform, to be able to eliminate things that you don't need in your life, helping you to be able to stand into your identity of who you truly are as a divine person. Some of these things is clearly black and white. So this is what's going to need to be also worked upon, is your faith. That needs to change as far as you, because you're very wavering in it. as well. And so the last thing that I want to leave you with is this, which is, what is the advice? What is the advice that Spirit has for us? You see a card you like? You like this one? Okay, she picked that one. Any other card? Let's look and see. I was like, you just like my maple syrup. Any other card? Look. Psst, psst. Stop licking my shirt because I spilled maple syrup on it. Any other card? Any other card? I look like she said maybe this one. Let's see. Okay, so the last thing here is, again, trust your intuition. Understand that when you have those feelings and you feel like you're, which is, again, that's why you got to open up your crown chakra. I would definitely say work with that, very much so about that, so you can get more in tune with source and less with hearing what's going on in your outer world, and what's the voice that you're hearing from your childhood, or your mom's voice, or your dad's voice, or that critical voice. Trust what it is telling you about the whole process, about what's going on with you in your journey. Get into that, because I'm seeing here this is like the third eye that's opened here as well, which is goes to the crown, the third here. Right there, say above your crown, connected to the pineal gland as well. It all still goes to the crown too as well. So you can be able to see the vision, make it plain for you. But little bit here, Ivy picked here, which is divine timing, which is, again, trusting that everything is working in according to the universe, according to your highest good, according to what you are ready for. Because even I remember even the minister had talked about Sunday about that, about some of us calling in these things, but are we truly ready to receive this? Are we in receiving mode? Are we just calling in all this different kind of stuff, but we're not ready to receive? And so that's, again, that's what divine timing is. Because, again, if you go by this card right here, she has no free hands to be open to receive anything that's of a good or of a blessing the Spirit has for her. So right now, according to this, with your childhood wounds, they are tying you up. You're beautifully tied, but again, at the same time, you need to release and let go. Okay? All right, then. This is it. I thank you so very much for finding me. Please make sure that you click, like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because that lets me know by you liking. It's just saying, okay, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing. Thank you for your time, for you coming and sharing your expertise about what's going on in the journey in your world, and your transparency doesn't mean that you agree or disagree with it, but it just says thank you for taking time out. Hopefully that everything that I said, it resonated with you and it reside with you. If you're interested in getting a personal reading, go to Divine Unisouls 11.co, where you can be able to get book a reading there online. If you're interested in doing any kind of past life regression sessions, or even a past life, with meaning going in your childhood, and we go in depth in that, and then we'll see some of the keys and the dots in which we can link and see how it's gotten you thus far to where you are now. I can also do the past regression session for that, not also just going back in past lives, but into this life too as well, to get a more in-depth look as to what's going on. Go to AshantiWellnessCenter.com to be able to get that, all that stuff, and the good stuff is in the description below. If you're interested too in attending a free virtual event, which is going to be hosted on Divine Unisoul's YouTube channel as well, that's going to be 2 p.m. Central on August the 8th, which is on the Lions Gate. You can be able to get good information for various peoples from different workshops, which will be some of them are held by Angel Simmons, which has a book out called Love's Great Design. I can't pull the book out because the whole thing will slide. Love's Great Design, and she's about also did about a narcissist. Love After the Narcissism, or something like that. She has a book that's on that. We have also Amber, what's her last name? Simper. She's got she's also good with social media. So if you want to rebirth your business, or you're thinking about your mission, going into doing anything that's social media concentrated. You could be able to see her as well. April Williams from the Playground Experience and Made for This Golden Life will be there. Also, Kathy D will be there from Playground Experience and Made for Pineapple Fish Life Coaching too. And then also Bonita for Wave of a Beautiful Warrior will be a part of the panelists, along with Stephanie Gibb, who is a family counselors, therapist or counselor as well. She's going to lend her her expertise as we talk about how the new dynamic of family is going in for these new souls that are coming in, as well, and how to be able to be a good parent to them and how to set up this new family dynamic and how it's going to be. Along with April Williams is going to sit in with that too. Anybody else? I don't think so. No, that's pretty much all that's going to be there. This is free again. We have lovely giveaways. Majority of the speakers are going to give away some of their services for you, so you can be able to have that. Try some of them is $500 and up. I'm also going to raffle off a past life regression session as well, so you all could be able to, that they'll be raffled as a giveaway too. So you got a lot of good stuff. So make sure you, like I say, come on down and come on over to Divine Unisoul's YouTube channel so you can be able to partake into that as well. All right then, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming over here. And as always, go out there and shine. And as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. All right, talking to you real soon. See you.